Good morning and welcome to the Better Thy segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. You must be intrigued by what I have titled my today's comment. If it is not something that sucks, that is not worth doing. You see, unfortunately, we always take the easy way out. And when a task appears to be difficult, we either say it's not interesting. We never say it's difficult. No. We always want to delude ourselves. We always want to cheat ourselves. So the best thing is, it's not of my interest. The reality is, you can do it. The true confidence in a human being emerges when that person pushes through things that are not interesting, that suck. You cannot be confident without having been successful in doing the task which, according to the word over, just sucks. The reality is that the anticipation of any event is almost always more emotionally powerful than the event itself. And if the event is going to be something which terrifies you, just imagine that you are a person who wants to go to the boss to ask for a raise, and you are paralyzed by that request. You are thinking for days and weeks together. And when you go to the boss and ask for a raise, it's over before you know it. So what was a task that you dreaded to do becomes a child's play. The excitement of attaining some object can be obsessive. And after you have obtained your desire, you are bored or in search of something else. We buy things to make us happy and we succeed. But that's all momentary. Same is true of any task. As a matter of fact, you can seduce yourself to the idea of something becoming more exciting than the thing itself. And when that idea, without being actualized, is exciting, then it remains only an idea. It never becomes real. And it's easy to tell people that you want something, that is your ambition, that's your desire to do something. It's very easy to create vision boards and write down your goals. The new year comes, you write down the resolution. You get up in the morning, you write the goal for the day. You want to be the top. That all is fine. But have you ever tried to stand in the front of a mirror and affirm your goal and look at yourself in the eye and say, yes, you're going to achieve it? This is the moment when the people stop. And the very act of dreaming stops you from achieving your dreams. Dreaming is very easy. Achieving the dream is the task which makes you a better human being. And that is where you fail. You have played in your mind very often with intoxicating details of what you would do or what you would be. But those details, those excitements are only in the thoughts. The moment you want to put them in reality, you are numb. You are paralyzed. You deceive yourself into believing that you have done something productive while it is not. consequently, when you attempt the activity yourself, you are immediately hit with a stone wall of resistance. More often than not, you quickly disconnect yourself. You detract yourself from the discomfort with some form of momentary pleasure. So, it's an instant action. You know you can't do it. You are faced with an opposition. Rather than get over that, you realize it. And you learn to love this internal resistance. This is a kind of perverse pleasure. And when you have only that perverse pleasure, you can be sure you are not successful. As a matter of fact, have you ever realized that when you do something which sucks really, then you have a feeling of pain, you have a feeling of discomfort, but there is a certain joy in that, because that discomfort, that pain, that agony is a precursor to the immense happiness. It is, in fact, proactively putting you through a purifying process, a transformative process, emotionally, psychologically. And what more is required? You see, there's a common proverb that fire purifies gold. Now, fire is something, nobody wants to be put to the fire, but it is a fire which purifies. Similarly, is a task which suck makes you a better human being. You see, what happens is you are living in a social culture. And that culture today, unfortunately, has fast decreasing moral values. Without values, there is no reason and no logic to live beyond the present moment. And without value and visions, you are not able to exercise self-control, which implies use of your willpower. And you live at the animal level. The moment you want to rise from the animal level, you have got to do things which suck. And when you do things that suck, you get out of the rut. As a matter of fact, you know, the US SEALs are supposed to be the epitome of grit, of willpower, of bravery. And you know why? There is a rule of the SEALs. The principle of the SEAL is 40% rule. And 40% rule is that people feel maxed out mentally and physically, and then they stop. And they stop where? Where they have attained only 40% of their capability. Going past this 40% capacity makes you feel uncomfortable. Going past 50% makes you full of agony and pain. Going beyond 70% is a superhuman effort. And that is his mantra. Cross 70%. And I was amazed when I saw for the first time at the entry to the SEAL commander's office. I had gone there, and it was written, if it doesn't suck, don't do it. I know it looks to be rude, but how correct. If it doesn't suck, don't do it, because it's not worth doing it. Easiest way is always preferred because there is no challenge. And until and unless you challenge yourself, you cannot grow. The pursuits, whatever they may be, have to be objective based. We talk of the management by objectives, MBO. Why don't we say OBP, orient based pursuits? Because if they are orient based, they are object based, then that is a challenge to your brain, to your mind, to your body. And that will teach you another thing. That will teach you how to focus. And not only focus on the present, but to move beyond the pain of doing that job. Move beyond the boredom. Or like a child, you will come for the immediate pleasure and destruction. So the immediate pleasure is not something which should attract a human being. The concept of do something and don't stop until it's complete, no matter how long it takes, should be the guiding principle. Arise, awake, and rest not till you have achieved your goal. Your goal is to learn to accomplish hard things without distracting yourself. You want to develop a perverse player, and perverse player is experiencing internal conflict and getting over those internal conflicts. As a matter of fact, the concept of CrossFit is extremely important. You see, I've seen people who check their smartphones between exercises sets. And when they do that, they're distracting themselves from the exercise. So this concept of don't do a thing if it doesn't suck, you can apply to anything and everything. You can do your homework assignment and just do it till it's completed. You can write an article and keep on writing it till it's ready for publishing. You want to go, you're an athlete, you want to go for a 5-mile run, keep on going until you have completed 5-mile run or you have fallen down unconscious. You want to wake up at 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning, wake up. Even if you have to pull out yourself out of the comfortable bed. You see, protecting yourself through emotional trauma and physical pain creates callous of the mind. You know, when you do hard work, your hands become callous, hard. And when you put yourself through easy trauma, easy part of life, then your mind is full of calluses. It's hurt. And your mind is not hurt only when you are doing things which suck. Most people are very soft. They want to be soft. As I said, the weakening culture today makes people emotionally immature. And that is because there are no ethics, no bars. We have lowered the bar. We need to raise the bar. And raising the bar means doing a job until and unless the job is completed. And that's the greatest opportunity in our life. Unfortunately, we let go of that opportunity. And when we let go of this opportunity, then we are nowhere. The ability to perform deep work, hard work, sustained work is becoming rare. You must have seen it. And that is why we are leading more a hedonistic life, which has no values. Don't forget, if you really want to grow, then the concept of average should be thrown out of the door. Average is over. Now, people are very crazy about the middle classes. They call them the stabilizing force. Yes, they are the stabilizing force. But they are not the steering force. A steering force, a driving force, is not the stabilizing force. When you are driving fast, then it's only the heavy dead load in the car which stabilizes it. You want to be dead load? That's your choice. But if you really want to drive, then you don't have to be dead load. When something sucks, ordinarily you quit. And that is where the downfall becomes. Anything worth doing without pain, without sacrifice, is not worth doing. Let's be very clear. I repeat, anything worth doing without pain, without sacrifice, without agony is not worth doing. Leave it to the others. Take up the tasks which are challenging. Whether the challenge is physical or mental, moral or spiritual, whatever it may be. But the impulse control, which is the sine qua non of being a human being, would only be there where you can take things which average people will not do. And that's why I say, if you want, doing work is hard, getting into the condition to fight is brutal. And that's why the Spartans in the ancient Greece were great, because their physical and the mental condition was always at the peak. Their spiritual, your mental, your psychological relationship with yourself would be at the optimum level when instinctively, by the force of habit, you take up a job which others think sucks. And the day you can do it, you would have bettered thyself. Bettered thyself beyond recognition of what you are today. Thank you.